This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Glad you've joined us. This is the only show in the metro area that talks about the growth and development of your favorite city. Big thank you to Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. They are the title sponsors of the program and make the next hour of fun and enjoyment possible for you. Now, without any further ado, it is time to bring on my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker and all-around good guy, Trenton Bradley Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jeffrey Stephen Bills.
Well, thank you. And Trenton, I learned a little something about you last night I want to share with KFAB Nation.
Excellent.
All right. So my wife, Stephanie, and I went out to a delicious dinner at Kanara. Kanara is the outstanding Indian restaurant in Regency Court.
Nice owners.
Yeah, Ashish, and I can't remember his wife's name, but at any rate, we were having dinner. Love Kanara. I've only been there a few times, but every time has been awesome. And then all of a sudden, the owner shows up at our table, and he thanks us for being there. And he looks at me and he says, "Hey, are you the Grow Omaha guy?" I say, "Yeah, that's me." And he said, "Your partner's here all the time. We love him." So apparently, ladies and gentlemen, our friend Trenton likes to eat Indian food at Kanara.
I do like the restaurant. I've only been there a handful of times, but he's a very nice guy, and I seem to make an impression.
Yes, you do make an impression. Anyway, that was a good place, and since we don't have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review this week, that's the closest you're going to get, ladies and gentlemen. But we want to bring on a voice and a name that you know. It is Brad Williams from E&A Consulting and the proprietor of Brad Williams Photography. And we like to call him our frequent radio contributor. Brad, good morning. Welcome back.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
And he's also the host of the Beers with Brad podcast, right?
Yeah, just had a new one this week where I went over my 22 favorite College World Series photos.
I saw that one.
While you're drinking beer, right?
Yeah, well, a beer.
But each time features a beer. Yeah.
A lot of times I do local. I'll pick a local brewery and pick a local beer and then talk about photography while I have a beer. And this one got a little long. You know, I was going to do my top 10 photos, and then next thing you know, I had 22 in my folder. And
so you drank a tall boy, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it was tall.
Pretty tall.
When people ask me what my favorite drink is, I usually say the seventh one.
And with that, we want to make an official announcement. So Trenton and I have been kind of talking a little bit about this the last few weeks. We've been kind of teasing it, if you will. We've said a few things on social media, and a lot of you have figured this out, but we want to say it for official purposes. Grow Omaha now offers daily news on the growomaha.com website. And so we encourage all of you to check it every day, especially every business day. We'll drop a little bit on there on the weekends, but every business day we have new news on the site. So you go to growomaha.com and boom, it's right there on the front page. You're going to see when you first go to the page, there are news briefs, which are just quick little one-paragraph news stories. We post a couple of those a day. And then to the right of that, at least if you're on the computer screen, we have the featured project of the day. We have a construction project that we have on there each business day. And then below that, we've got stories that go into a little more depth when it comes to Omaha growth and development and business stories. We also have an ongoing list of new restaurants and retailers. We have transportation articles written by Eric Miller. We're partnering with the Greater Omaha Chamber and Visit Omaha, which is the Convention and Visitors Bureau here in town. So we're providing you with a lot of content. And we're even working on a series of very useful lists. We're going to have restaurant lists and retail lists that are coming soon. Those will be on there eventually. But already, lots of news. So we would encourage you to make it a daily habit. Go to growomaha.com every morning. Like maybe you're a Wall Street Journal guy, or maybe you're a New York Times gal, or maybe you check like your favorite sports team or omaha.com or one of the TV or radio stations. While you're doing that, Add it to your list, growomaha.com. New news every business day.
What's the catch, Jeff?
There is no catch because it doesn't cost you a thing.
It's the same price as the weekly market report.
Or like they say on some of those TV commercials, there's no risk.
Absolutely. Your money back.
Their money back.
If you don't like it, it's your money back. But
it's FREE free.
And this is something that you created and then I inspired afterwards. And if that makes sense. And it's really expanded into
retroactive inspiration.
The source for Omaha business news, economic development news, transportation development, planning board. And what's nice about it is we're saving forests because so many people look at this. Could you imagine the amount of copies that people get? Over 20,000 people
if we printed
get this.
it?
Yeah. Every Thursday afternoon. All you do is go to growomaha.com. Go to the weekly market report, sign up for that, and while you're there, you're going to see our news feed, and it is brief and informative, and you're going to be in the know.
Okay, yeah, and so just to clarify something Trenton said there, he talked about the market report, the newsletter that 21,000 of you subscribe to. That stays. That keeps coming out every Thursday afternoon, is not affected by this. This is an additional news service that is available to you on growomaha.com.
And thank you to all of our sponsors on all forms of Grow Omaha media that make this possible.
And with that, speaking of sponsors, we want to go into our Eagle Mortgage News of the Week, which is brought to you by, well, it's Eagle Mortgage because it's called the Eagle Mortgage News of the Week. You can find them in person at their office, 114th in Davenport, or online, eaglemortgagecompany.com. It doesn't matter what kind of loan you're looking for. The main thing is if you want to get a new or your own piece of the American dream, you probably need a loan. And they will do that for you. Sit down with them before you start the home buying process. Talk about your options. Get a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage, and then go out and start searching. If you already have a house in mind, that's fine. It's not too late. Just give Eagle Mortgage a call right away on Monday, and they'll get you started.
They'll help you fly through the process.
EagleMortgageCompany.com. Okay, a couple news items, Trenton and Brad. The first one is the final City of Omaha program created with federal pandemic recovery funds is going before the City Council next week. The city is setting aside $2 million in ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act, that will go towards safety, security, and improvements of qualifying business improvement districts. Now, these bids are places where in town where property owners have come together making contributions to kind of improve the place, improve the city, improve the area. We have 7 bids that applied for and qualified to receive these funds: Benson, Blackstone, Downtown, Dundee, North 24th Street, North Saddle Creek, and South Omaha. A couple quick highlights. What are these BIDs, Business Improvement Districts, going to do with their share of the $2 million? Benson going to install some pedestrian safety features. Blackstone, bollards and lighting in an alley. Downtown, they're going to improve lighting in the old market. Dundee, concrete sidewalk repairs. I'm a big fan of concrete repairs right now. That's a very important issue in our town. North 24th Street, install permanent pedestrian lighting on 24th Street between Pinckney and Ohio Streets. Saddle Creek is that new business improvement district. They're going to work on pedestrian lighting. And then South Omaha, also lighting, pedestrian lighting, permanent lighting inside the area.
So not the sexiest development news, but important, and it makes our city safer and better and happier.
And the other thing I want to mention, which is also related to some organizations getting money, we have 3 development projects, tractions, if you will, that are under development in the Omaha metro area that are receiving additional funding through the state of Nebraska's Shovel Ready program. This is also money that was from the ARPA Act, and looks like we've got about $2 million each going to Omaha Performing Arts to help them finish the downtown Tenaska Center for Arts Engagement, which is under construction, $108 million project on the east side of Holland Performing Arts Center. Joslin Art Museum in September is opening its $100 million, 42,000 square foot addition, which will have contemporary art. That's getting really close. They're getting some of this money. And then the other recipient is Elkhorn Athletic Association. They recently opened the Interstate Bank Sportsplex in Valley. It's on the north side of Highway 275. Big youth sports complex. They're going to make it even bigger. Already it's a 120-acre complex. They're going to add some more ball diamonds and fields and this sort of thing. So good uses that will continue to improve. And a lot of these things bring in out-of-town money.
Yeah. And I like it because everything you just mentioned are public venues, public spaces, not private companies that are getting incentives or getting tax and credit financing and things like that.
And then, Brad, I want to get your take on this. The City of Omaha and developers this week celebrated the groundbreaking of Phase 1 for the South Side Terrace redevelopment project. That's a public housing project located generally by 28th and W Streets in South Omaha. $35 million first phase consists of a 4-story, 92-unit apartment building, which will replace 2 smaller multifamily units in that area. A lot of these units will be reserved for previous tenants of Southside Terrace, but there will be new additional ones coming as well. But here's the cool thing. Another 6 phases in addition to this first phase in progress that will add hundreds of mixed-use income apartments, more retail, commercial, community space. Brad, that'll change the South Side.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a long time coming. I've been talking about it for years now. And I can only picture it's going to be eventually like the Highlander up on the north side of downtown, which was a very similar public housing complex back in the late 90s when it closed up. So great things for South Omaha. I think it's going to do wonders for that neighborhood.
A lot of progress in East Omaha, which is desperately needed. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up our news of the week by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com if you want to get a hold of them. And we have an announcement to make. It's the call-in show. We do this a few times a year, 4 to 6 times a year, in which we allow people to call in. If so, you have a question on your mind about anything related to Omaha growth and development, we'll take a stab at it. The number is 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Perhaps you're driving by some project and it's under construction and you're thinking, what is that? Well, call the Grow Omaha guys. We'll take our best attempt at it.
And don't wait till the end of the show. We always get all jammed up at the end with questions. We have
jam
plenty
us up front.
Up front, yeah.
Jam us now. All right, 402-558-1110. The phones are open. We're waiting for you to call, and we'll be curious to hear what is on your mind. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Coming back to Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st, streaming live only on Hulu.
When you were talking about Eagle Mortgage, towards the end, I said they'll help you fly through the process. You're talking about Eagle Mortgage, I said they'll help you fly through the process.
Soar like
Maybe
eagle.
has trouble hearing it in the morning.
Yeah, soar would have been better.
Have you ever busted out in the Fly Like an Eagle when they start saying that?
Fly like an eagle. We should do that. It's the Dr. Demento show.
Well, since no one's calling, we can Uncut people get to hear how this really works. They get to watch sausage getting made.
We're having our friends and family call.
Starbucks at Mangles by Westgate Construction.
Yeah.
Should we bring that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Westgate's moving over there.
And then, and if no one calls, we'll have a make believe.
It's so weird. It's like you have to have one call.
Oh yeah.
And then no one wants to be the first person.
It's like going to the bathroom the first time when you've been drinking beer.
Oh, we got one. So yeah, sometimes we have to get the first person to call.
It's like going to the bathroom when you're at the bar drinking beer. The first time you go, then you're going every 15 minutes. But you can wait.
I'll get John Lundy.
You can wait an hour or two. That could be dangerous.
Can two-year-olds call in?
What farm is that?
He's not 2 years old.
Jam us up. You guys are sick.
Be sure to tell them that
Have you met John Meyer in my office?
I don't think so.
You've met John.
I think so, at some point.
You wouldn't forget him.
No. Okay. All right, Mike.
So then, no, I've never met him.
Call in.
We'll get to you as soon as we can. Please.
Your microphone always sucks for the camera, but it's like,
Thank you for holding. What's
I
your
kind of
name?
like being, I like kind of hiding behind it.
Great. What's your topic?
it's not good for when I try to grab stills.
Oh, here's your still right here.
There we go. Okay.
Here's your still right here.
I can't wait till John Long calls in and I ask him if he got his license back.
I'm giving Chris stills.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
There we go, guys.
Yep. All right. Very good.
We watched Uncle Buck last night. Amy wanted to see Uncle Buck.
She's never seen it?
No, hilarious.
Oh, that's
I was like, you
great.
gotta get other ones too. They're so great.
Great
It's
outdoors.
KFB. What's your name?
Yeah, the great outdoors.
That first question there is like
look
the
like a little
90th of center of.
Do you think it's that guy?
Well, look, the first two are both the same.
But look at the name. Remember that we were talking
Oh, yeah.
about Brad, who inspired who reminded me to do this show? Do you think it's him?
I mean, to remind you to do the show.
Oh, there was a guy on social media that
All right.
said, "When's the next call-in
got you.
show?" And I was like,
I'm
"Oh
gonna
shit, we
place
haven't
on hold.
done this in a while."
How you doing?
That's when I called Brad this week.
So don't ruin the second question when answering the first question.
Ask and you shall receive, boys.
John,
All right,
John
thank you.
Candy was like 33 when he
your
died,
magic.
just like
I know,
John
right?
Belushi, and
He was that young?
I thought he was. Maybe
Just don't ask me
because
about
he
my
looks
party
older.
trick.
Let me know
Don't
about
ask me about my party trick.
Well, now I'm curious.
that. Your party what?
My party trick.
I'm a little curious.
Because like Steve Martin, what you do is you go late to a party.
Was Home Alone his last big 43?
He was 40. Okay.
It's still young.
Was Home Alone his last
Johnny
big
Throw all the food on the floor. I did this at the last party I was invited to 2 years ago.
Here we go, boys.
He died while filming Wagons East.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams at your service. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. You just heard the voice from Cheer Athletics just a moment ago, but we cannot say enough about the quality work that Cheer Athletics does for the youth of Omaha and really the youth of America, because they have other locations in other major markets. The Omaha location is right at the just southwest of highways 50 and 370 in Papillion, and great chance for your kids to compete, and in many cases at the very, very highest levels. Cheer Athletics is the Cadillac brand in the all-star cheer world, which is becoming every year a bigger and bigger sport for kids to participate in. You can find out more at caomaha.com. It is the quarterly call-in show. We've got 3 people in the docket right now. If you want to join them, the number is 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. And first up is Mike with a question about something going on West Maple Road. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. I understand that Fleet and Farm is supposed to be putting in their first Omaha location out near the new Costco, and I wondered if you knew that was going to actually start taking shape.
Yeah, this is a very popular question. We get asked about it all the time. They bought that ground several years ago now. I just looked it up because we got that question just 2 days ago, probably. They still own the ground, but they don't have any building permits yet. So I still believe it's coming. I've not heard anything different, but there's not be any action anytime soon without a building permit.
And interestingly, they also own a site northwest of 192nd and Highway 370, and there's a local developer that is in charge of those, and I don't know why they're waiting. So the other question is, which one are they going to build first, or are they going to build them at the same time?
Well, and the one that is planned for the West Maple corridor, last we checked, Machine Shed, which is a themed restaurant out of the Quad Cities area of Iowa, supposedly is planning because they control a spot there. It'll be interesting to see if Machine Shed ends up building. All right. Well, Mike, we appreciate the call. And let's go to Greg. Greg, you have a question about something around Warner Park. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, guys. I was kind of curious, development-wise, on what's the current status on Pennant Place. It seems like they kind of did a lot of work to get ready, like in the last couple of years, and then it's just sitting there. I drive by it every day on the way to work. And then I had one quick comment to make. I know you guys talk about it in patience, but the Crossroads development that I was looking on eOmaha forums, we've been talking about that since 2011. So I think some frustration possibly skepticism is still warranted to a certain extent. Anyway, love everything you guys do and the construction updates from Brad.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Trenton, why don't you tear it into the Pennant Place?
Okay. First of all, and it's funny you call it Pennant Place still, and that goes back a long time. I originally had that ground listed back in the day, and Jerry Torzon of BHI owns that property now, right in front of the ballpark along Highway 370, and I believe it's now called Generations. And I've seen a couple iterations and site plans and things like that, but they definitely are developing that. There's going to be some office to the east, and there's where the apartments are, and it'll take a little while, but it's still moving forward. A lot of the streets are in already, which is nice. Brad, do you have anything to add to that one?
No, I was out at Omaha Storm Chasers game on Thursday, and I did notice all the roads were in and open, and some people were even parking on them already. So
great. And then the Crossroads. Yeah, it's been a long time since Frank Krejci bought that at a good price, and it's probably been 15 years or so. But I was talking to Chip James with Lockwood this morning, actually, and pretty much all the horizontal infrastructure is done, the sewers and the roads and the utilities and things like that. There is a deal with Woodbury, a group that I think they're worth about $4 billion out of Salt Lake City, a very prominent multi-generational family. They've gone to the city and gotten approvals, and they've changed a few things. The city will own 3 subterranean parking lots, and just like they're doing with the Park Omaha around the city and all that kind of stuff. And I think we'll see more stuff coming up next year. I know it's a lot of consternation on people's parts about why is it taking so long or whatever. It's a complicated project. At least they're doing it right. It sat there for a long, long time, but all indications are it'll start going vertical next year.
And the Woodbury addition is fairly recent. It was just earlier this year when that was announced that they joined the team, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. It'll be a phased project, but you can count on. I think that they're going to have like apartments and condos. They'll have retail, office, and so it'll be mixed use, and it'll be vertical, which will be nice and really complement the new library.
So I understand why people have been frustrated with Crossroads, because we have been talking about it so long, like Greg said. And I'm not saying Greg was implying this, but a lot of times when we hear questions from Omaha listeners or subscribers, it almost sounds like people think there's some sort of nefarious lie or something that's being hidden. And I just kind of want to remind people that we've been talking about it for a long time, but there have been multiple players involved, different people that were involved at different times, and it didn't work. And then we have to remember that the original person behind all of this passed away a couple of years ago. And then now we have an entire new development company coming in. And we're talking about a project that is somewhere between, when it's all said and done, $500 million and $1 billion. Sometimes this stuff just takes a while and weird things can happen, but I don't see any reason to believe that Crossroads won't eventually end up a very special place.
I've never, in all the 20 years I've been working in the development world, seen someone passing away speed up a project. It's always there's a couple others here in town where it's put it 2, 3, 4 years behind. So it doesn't help at all.
Definitely a shock to a system. Well, Greg, we appreciate the call. And then we do see that Bonnie is on the line as our next caller. Bonnie, we would request that you stay with us through our news break. I know it's asking a lot. You've been on for a while, but Bonnie wants to talk a little bit about Gretna's future. You'll be our first one when we come back. But after Bonnie, the phones are open. So if you want to get a call in, it's 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. We're going to break for the news. But you are listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid. We're joined with our good friend and contributor, Brad Williams. And we're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
There was an apartment complex we were working on.
Yeah.
And the developer passed away. It wasn't Frank, it was a different complex.
Yeah.
And he literally had building permits in hand ready. They were going to break ground within like 2 weeks of when he passed away.
Thank you so much.
The ground is, I don't remember his name. It was out there on like 197. Ground is still sitting empty.
192nd and
It devastates a project.
In that 90th to 100.
It used to be my full-time job a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like a blast from your past.
Yeah. Well, not here, but
Somewhere, a different station.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was at KNCY in Nebraska City, and then at K-Hub in Fremont, and then I was at KRGI in Grand Island. So
You've done a tour of Nebraska.
I've done the tour.
Yeah. Tour of eastern Nebraska, at least.
Yeah.
Do you like smaller cities?
Western. Huh?
Do you like smaller cities or?
I prefer to live here.
Are you from here?
Born and raised. But I enjoyed Grand Island. It was fine. I mean, it gets a reputation sometimes I don't think is all that deserved, and it gets a reputation sometimes it's deserved. But just like any place, there's good and bad about everything. But I have nothing but good memories there.
Is it big enough?
For me, yeah, it was fine. But I'm not somebody that needs to go to like huge events every time. I mean, when it comes to like huge events, if I really want to go to something big, I'll just book a flight or something. But not everybody can do that. But that's what I do. But
how'd you end up out there for work?
yeah, just I got picked up for a news job out there, so I was the assistant news director when I was out there. So lived out there for 3 years. It was a fun time. My news director, he was awesome, and he wasn't my news director as much as he was my friend, and he passed away a couple of years later, unfortunately. Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Ooh. Yeah,
That'll do it.
Yeah,
that one is wicked.
he was great. He taught me a lot. So, good to see you, Brad. Nobody's more surprised than me to be back in the radio business, because when I left there, I was like, well, I guess that's it. I'm done.
You're done. Hang up the headphones, as they say.
And then 10 years later, I saw Scott make a posting, and I was like, well, I need a second job, so
I can still mess around with it.
yeah, I can still do it, and I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun doing this. And, 1110 KFB, what's your name? Chuck? Okay, what's the question, Chuck?
Then it comes time to get that
Right.
just the biggest
Okay.
investment most of them ever make, and they grab their phone and start playing with apps. Just don't. Contact Holly and her fun and professional staff right here in Omaha.
Yeah, we've got Bonnie, and then this whoever's calling right now.
Do you know Bonnie's calling about?
Okay, let me go ahead and put you on hold, and we'll get you on as soon as we can, and they can hopefully answer that.
That's a big open-ended question.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, by the way,
She worked for the Gretna Chamber.
What's that?
She worked for the Gretna Chamber.
Between whatever might or might not happen down by the outlet malls and all the stuff on 192nd to 204th and 370.
Yeah, it's Gretna's going to blow up. It's already kind of blowing up.
Sorry about that. Where was that? What was my story?
Oh, you were just talking about how you made a posting and you like the idea of kind of getting back in part-time.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it just no one's more surprised than me, but it's like riding a bike.
So yeah, that was last week. The city council planning board. Kyle went to it.
What's that?
The Dingmans.
Oh, another location.
We haven't announced it yet.
Oh, you just did. You just did.
No, if they're listening that hard, that's good.
Oh.
It's public record.
Yeah, it's true if it went to city council.
Now, the News Radio 1110.
So you didn't just make my editing job harder.
No.
Well, that's true.
I want to see that. I guess there's a great still shot of like Blinken and some of the other cabinet members when he talked about Vice President Trump, which he was referring to Kamala when someone asked that question.
Well, anyway,
and then he called Zelensky Putin.
Yeah,
that was just before this. What was it they called, the big boy press conference?
The Depends press conference.
He called Zelensky Putin.
Yes.
But someone said
in front of it.
Somebody said
Never seen anything like this.
Somebody said Vice President Harris.
Self-destruct the way.
But then he says somebody asked about Vice President Harris, is she ready to go? And he said Vice President Trump.
When I appointed Vice President Trump. Yeah.
And they're questioning whether he's fit for office.
But like that Putin thing, I mean, this is the man that has ordered, like, not only attacked his country, but ordered personal assassination attempps on Zelensky. He calls him his most fierce enemy.
But supposedly there's a still photograph of like half his cabinet. Like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
I shouldn't be laughing about it. It's pretty tragic.
I feel sad for the man, to be honest.
No, it's elder abuse. Joe Biden is committing elder abuse.
I mean,
I wonder how many calls like Adult Protective Services gets in Washington, D.C. I'm pretty sure
I'm being abused.
No, like everybody calling in, like, we're watching this unfold on.
I thought you were talking about some guy from 1600 Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure I'm being abused.
Just the fact that we had to have that, what is it, Stephanopoulos interview, and the whole interview was, "Are you fit to run?"
Yeah,
it's a tragedy.
But even he's told somebody on the street. Did you see that? Somebody on the street with their own camera asked him, and he says, "I don't think he should be running."
Yeah.
And Stephanopoulos said
he's
that.
only
Like,
saying what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, but funny thing is, he represents a news station. Like he did.
No, and you're right.
He did that in public. Like, great.
He should have been smart.
It's almost like there's a whole Democratic. It's a game that's been planned the last few months. It's like, okay, here's how we're gonna get rid of him, and just it's the drip. It's like the Chinese water torture or something like that. It's like, okay, now you. So
yeah, but
they're up to 19 to Congress people.
To quote reverse Hillary Clinton, it's a vast left-wing conspiracy.
Yes.
I don't think they thought he was going to disintegrate as badly as they did.
No.
Somebody said, yeah, he just has to hold on for 114 more days. Until
plus 4 years.
That's right.
Well, no, they're not. They don't care about that.
The thing is, though, even young Joe Biden butchered the English language. I mean, even
not to mention, not to mention plagiarized it.
I mean, even 20 years ago, when he was Senator Biden, he was like butchering. He was that guy. But now it's sad.
We're just in unprecedented territory.
Yeah, we are.
It's scary.
Man.
To be fair, though, it's always been a game.
Yeah, no, it's a political thing. But it's just our livelihood of our country. But both parties have some serious issues.
All right, here we go, boys.
Every child deserves a great start.
A wild open phone line Friday talking about Joe Biden's very busy week, and then we talked about our favorite elderly people not in politics. You can find it all on the Average Soccer podcast page at KFAB.com.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams at your service. Were brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's has 4 metro area locations, and doesn't matter which one you go to, they'll take very good care of you. Dingman's is it's been owned and operated locally since 1996 and has been chosen as Best of Omaha in the auto body repair category every year since 2005. Also do paint and mechanical work as well. Dingman's Collision Center. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. And Noddle Companies has multiple developments around town and around the country, but here in Omaha, they have Exarban Village, Village Point West Medical Campus, Steel Ridge in the Papillion-Gretna area, River's Edge, Council Bluffs, many, many others. Well, one of them is the Builders District, and the Builders District is awesome. This is that area just west of Charles Schwab Field. But we've got some news inside the Builders District this week. Ellie's Chinchorro Caribbean Bistro. It's a family-owned Caribbean restaurant that closed in February. They had been on South 32nd Avenue by the old La Sola Mio, which is now called the Mio. And it didn't quite work there, but they've moved to a new location. This one is right on the northwest corner of 16th and Cumming Street. So it's close to the Tip Top Building, Omaha Design Center, the Kiewit headquarters. Ellie's Chinchorro Caribbean Bistro, now open. In fact, the grand opening is today. And we encourage you to check that out.
It looks nice. Nice little, it's a black building, really stands out. And
with a lot of accent colors.
And part of that Builders District is really cool. The Pocket Park has the big screen up now.
Yeah. Ellie's is a nice addition because it took a rundown property and made it really, really attractive right there on an important corner. All right, that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. You can learn more about Noddle Companies by going to NoddleCompanies.com. All right, Bonnie, sorry for making you wait, but we're glad you did. You are next on the Grow Omaha Show.
Okay, am I on now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. First of all, kudos to Grow Omaha, one of a kind Omaha show.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
We love you too.
And secondly, to hearing that machine shed's moving in, because we take occasional field trips to Des Moines. We love machine shed that much. Everybody in Omaha will love machine shed. Guarantee it.
Yeah, great operators. The Whalen family with Heart of America Group. They also own Johnny's Italian Steakhouse in Village Point.
Didn't know that. Okay, so that's good to know. Now, my question along the Gretna corridor, what do you see in Gretna's future development, such as perhaps big box retail stores, Target, the lumber stores such as, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Menards, and also the future of maybe a handful of sit-down restaurants? Right now we have a handful of fast food restaurants, but something more along the line of a sit-down restaurant. I'm going to throw out a few names, maybe Longhorn, Outback, that type of a thing. And would there be an Aldi's in the future? Anything along that line? What do you hear might be happening out here?
Well, there's so much going on. That stuff's going to happen. There's no way around it. With that, all the land around Fleet Farm that's getting developed right now, and then all this
hospital project.
Yeah, and all this stuff so far has been happening on the north side of 370. So you basically have the entire south side of 370 that is yet to be developed. I don't know any specifics. I know that there was Menards did own land around by the Walmart area on 370, a little bit further south. I can't believe there's not a Home Depot or Lowe's out in that vicinity yet. I'm sure that's only a matter of time.
Well, I'll tell you what, and we have regular conversations with Mike Evans. And by the way, you have a fabulous mayor in Mike Evans. He's the only one running, so it's great that he is great. And he's very progressive. And he does something that he should do. He does his job in that he protects Gretna from many people that want projects that don't make sense. And so you've heard a lot about the Good Life District, and hopefully that comes to fruition all around Nebraska Crossing. You're going to have industrial properties over there by Lovely Skins Warehouse. You'll have sports-related things. It'll take a while, but I think you made a good point that there needs to be more upscale restaurants to complement the fast feeders. Jeff?
Well, I would just say I agree with these guys. You ain't seen nothing yet. Someday Gretna will have tens of thousands of people and every retailer you can possibly imagine, and that day is not all that far away.
I also see downtown Gretna has some real potential, too, of kind of grown and expanded a little bit, being more of a Blackstone or a Dundee type area.
Yeah, and none of that even takes into consideration all of the significant growth that we expect to happen in and around the Nebraska crossing area by Interstate 80. Well, Bonnie, we appreciate the call. Appreciate you waiting as long as you did. And Chuck, you are the next caller on Grow Omaha. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I just got a question. When you drive all around, whether it be Omaha, Council Bluffs, or Gretna, and you see new construction sites starting up, but a lot of times you don't see signs of coming soon, Longhorn, or home of whatever. Is there a reason why that doesn't happen all the time?
Well, a lot of times the infrastructure goes in ahead of all that, and when those sites actually get sold and the deal's finalized, then you will see a coming soon sign. But a lot of times that's 2 maybe 18 months at a quick pace after the construction started.
The other thing is some of these businesses that are going in the buildings under construction want to keep their powder dry for a while. A lot of times they're trying to wait for a big announcement, and they don't want it all over the place. Then, of course, we at Grow Omaha come around, find it out, and wreck it. But a lot of them want to wait for grand announcements, and they kind of keep some of that quiet. And then I think sometimes people just don't even think of it. They're focused on getting the building up, and they just don't even think about that marketing aspect.
And a lot of times on retail, especially, it's really hard to pinpoint an opening date, and they don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, so they don't promote it until they know that they have a hard date. And so everybody's a little bit different, and we've been told to withhold some information sometimes, and Usually we do if we like those people.
And with that, Chuck, we really appreciate that call. We're going to squeeze in one more call in the next 2 minutes, and that means the last caller on Grow Omaha today is Jan with a question about Miracle Hills. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning. We were wondering, they have redone this shopping area, and it's so pretty, but we have no idea if there's any retail or what's going in now.
Well, Jan, glad you asked, and I have to tell you, you just scooped the Perkins Kreitzer construction lightning round. But since you brought it up, I'll mention what we're talking about. Perkins Kreitzer Construction is the firm that has been building that brand new property, or that brand newly renovated property there at Miracle Hills. I've been building it for Perkins Properties. But at any rate, we have a University of Nebraska Medical Center project going into that area that's already open. But the big news is...
Wait, let's wait till after the break.
Well, I'm going to answer a question.
Well, she'll stay around.
We got other stuff. We got.
There's always plenty on the list.
We got a big long list of stuff for the lightning round. So I mean, I told her she already scooped it, so I got to give her the answer. Okay, Funny Bone Comedy Club is moving from Village Point Shopping Center, and they're going to go into a 16,000 square foot space in the west side of 114th Street, Miracle Hills. They're going to be joined by a newish concept called Draftcade. Draft as in beer, cade as in arcade, Draftcade. They have locations already in Kansas City, Richmond, Virginia, and Toledo, Ohio. And they will kind of co-locate with Funny Bone. They won't open until into 25, so I believe June of 2025. And so we'll have to wait a little bit till they build it out. If you can remember what used to be in that Miracle Hill Center, they're going to take a former space that Who Hot restaurant was in, plus I think some other space. Now, they are working on making some announcements soon about something that will go into the former Boston Market space. And they're also working with a couple other tenants that I'm told we're going to be excited about. But Funny Bone Comedy Club is the first one. All right.
Well, that's good.
Jan, we're glad you asked, and appreciate you listening, and we appreciate everyone who called in today. We are going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, we are going to have lots of things on the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. So don't worry that we already divulged Funny Bone. There's more excitement yet to come. You are listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Funny Bone Comedy. Funny Bone Comedy Club.
So Trent, are you going to go on the Masked Singer with that voice? You seem like a bird.
I just hope that
we're going to Funny Bone tonight. See, Titus is.
I just hope all the listeners know it's him singing and not you.
Well, you were talking, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't think Brad better hope they don't think it's him singing.
They can look the video up.
It could have been me.
How's your singing voice?
Terrible?
Oh, okay, how's your singing voice?
Just about as bad.
Oh, okay.
I sing like an angel.
Dr. Ruth died.
Who?
Dr. Ruth? You're so young. You don't even know
96.
Dr. Ruth died.
Wait a minute. Wasn't she like the Dear Abby lady?
No, but for
She was
sex.
on TV and people could ask her any sex questions.
Oh, she was the original Dr. Juro.
She's the original Dr. Ruth. She's the OG.
You know that Dear Abby and Ann Landers are sisters?
Yeah.
Aren't they? One of them's from Omaha, or they're from Omaha?
Sioux City, weren't they?
Sioux City, you're right. You're right, Sioux City.
Yeah.
But they have Omaha connections.
I think Dr. Ruth inspired Dr. Drew or helped him get going.
Dr. Ruth was groundbreaking because she was on network television back in the
Did you ever
90s,
hear the Sam Kinison?
talking about very graphic
I love
sexual
Sam
advice.
Kinison.
And what? You just didn't do that back in those
I've got
days.
this growth.
Yeah. What if I'm having trouble? I mean,
I got
people
it.
would, and she would answer everything like it was.
You know what's crazy? If she was 96, That means when she was on TV, that's 30 years ago. That would have been her 60s.
And she seemed way older than that back then.
She was just as old as
Jeff.
Yeah.
56:48 is when we'll be out.
56.
That's when I'll play.
She was getting on in the back.
So that's the start of the music.
Yeah.
Okay. 56:48.
Just want you to know that. So I'll count you down. But just
Sam Kids be like,
appreciate it.
When's the last time you saw Dr. Ruth?
A penis?
Did they have cars then, or did you on horseback?
It's gonna be quite the uncut today.
And uncut, you can say penis or whatever Sam Kinison said. And you can say sex on a horseback. You don't have to cut. This is uncut. It's uncut.
But you can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference between
5
jelly and
seconds.
jam.
Teenagers watch the uncut.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, someone said you shouldn't cuss because
Someone dropped
teenagers-
the F word.
I got in trouble for saying freaking. Someone called Gary Sotomayor 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, but I said freaking.
2 to 6 on News Radio 1110.
And welcome back to the show. It is time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things in a little bit of time. And we want to thank Perkins Kreitzer for making this possible. That is a full-service Class A general contractor. We just told you they are going to be the ones building out the new Funny Bone and Draftcade space in Miracle Hills. Shoot, they built out the entire Miracle Hills renovation project, but they do so much more. A lot of times we talk about some of the restaurants they've built here because if you haven't noticed, Trenton and I have a little bit of a food addiction. I think Brad's kind of got a little bit of the same problem. We know Chris Corey, who does our restaurant reviews, he's got a serious food addiction. So we appreciate all of the restaurants that Perkins Kreitzer Construction has built.
We all fed our food addiction on the way here this morning.
Saddle Creek Breakfast Club.
Yeah, they're
Countryside
packing them in
Village.
this morning.
Yeah.
7:30 in the morning, there was a wait out the door.
And there you had Jeff Beals, Trent Magid, Brad Williams, and Chris Corey, the four of us sitting on bar seats because we couldn't get a table, and it was totally worth it.
Yes.
Man, that food is amazing. And they're not even paying us to say this. All right, into the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. Let's get into it. Big news that we announced this week. We just put it up on our new website as a construction project, and everyone got really excited about it. But construction is underway for Coneflower Creamery's future West Omaha location in downtown Elkhorn, right on Main Street, across the street from Boyd and Charlie's. Opening expected sometime in 2025. They're still putting up the walls. But this was, if you're familiar with downtown Elkhorn, there was a little cavity in the downtown where there was no building. And basically this is a dental filling for the cavity. And everyone loves Coneflower Creamery. You know another concept that everyone loves in town? Izzy's Pizza. Izzy's started out as a food truck, actually a food bus, and wildly popular. They moved to Omaha from Las Vegas for personal family reasons and brought the food bus with them. And then they opened up earlier this year a first bricks and mortar location on 24th Street downtown. They're going to put a second one inside Prehistoric Putt. Prehistoric Putt, one of those themed indoor miniature golf places. It's going into the former Nobby's store in Bel Air Plaza. And for you really old-time Omahans, the former Food City grocery store, if you're old enough to remember that.
I had to move there when I was a kid.
You did? Because it's a city?
Food City, yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Izzy's is going to go in with Prehistoric Putt. Now, the cool thing about Prehistoric Putt, that's the same owner who has Fat Putter downtown and is putting in Capitol Arcade also at 10th and Dodge in that area.
Yeah, good guy. And he's in other cities as well, doing a couple in Des Moines. I think he's got one in Lincoln. Is there one in Kansas City too, I think?
That I don't know, but it's a great concept. And I know Fat Putter downtown has been a home run, not to mix my sports metaphors. Brad, David Uderbach, owner of Yoshitomo and Koji, is taking over Sakura Bana at 74th and Dodge. That's a big deal in the Omaha restaurant world.
Yeah, that's I was excited to see that. You know, the old time restaurants around here, a lot of times they seem to fade away, and it's great to see some new young energy helping the owner out so he can retire.
And that goes back to Sushi Ichiban.
Freudian slip.
In the old IHOP on the corner of 84th and
tall
in
triangle
West Dodge
roof.
Road, yeah. And this sushi tastes like pancakes.
And keeping with the sushi theme, Ajisai Sushi, a new Japanese restaurant that offers all-you-can-eat sushi, has signage up in the former Best Bison restaurant space near 78th and Dodge. An official opening date has not yet been announced. And whoever thought of this is genius. PAX Popcorn and Cocktails has officially opened in the Old Market, 1118 Howard Street, in the place of the previous tenant, which was the Table Coffee Company, before Table Coffee Company moved a few doors to the west into the old Stokes Bay on the corner. So that's kind of confusing. So Stokes went out of business, the Old Market. Table Coffee Company moved to Stokes. Now PAX Popcorn and Cocktails. They serve gourmet popcorn with premium cocktails. I'm in.
Is Table Coffee still there?
Yeah, I just said they moved to, really, that was the confusing thing.
Oh.
They moved to the former Stokes
You
space.
wanted me to listen? Okay.
Keep up on the Old Market musical chairs.
Who's on first? All right, Nordstrom Rack, grand opening date. We have it, October 24th in Village Point. I'm thinking people might line up just like they did for the Costco yesterday at 180th.
Yes.
Dunkin' Donuts going into an end cap space at a strip center northeast corner of 156th and Ida. And for all you Tesla drivers, Tesla is relocating its Council Bluffs Leasing and Service Center later this month. It's currently located near the Mall of the Bluffs. The new location will be just northwest of the Mid-America Center.
It's a beautiful facility.
Yeah, right there by Interstate 29 and I-80. Wonton Joe's closing its food truck. A bit of a surprise. That was very popular. Little Caesars, new location going in close to Indian Creek Golf Club in northwest Omaha, Elkhorn area. And I think that's it. We got through we never get through the entire list. At any rate,
First. I'm waiting for the Jocelyn to open.
The music, September 10th. The music is playing, which means that we're done. Brad Williams, always good to have you with us.
Hey, it's always great being here.
That's Brad Williams of Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting. In the meantime, I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Chair Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.